Good freaking morning. Hopefully you are having a great day. Wanted to share this with you because as I was running my Spartan race, which was in Central Florida this past weekend, my mind was blown by a conversation people were having while they're doing the race, which is kind of wild because last time I checked, it's a race. Like race. So having conversations the whole time is kind of weird to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just weird to me because I'm a weirdo that thinks a race is you going as fast as you can to finish the race as fast as you can. But definitions and things are kind of thrown out the freaking window anymore. So whatever. But this guy was having a conversation with his buddy while we're running. We had taken a break just for a minute because it was tough, the race. We had it was in this swampy area in the middle of Central Florida, which I was asking, does anybody check this thing for alligators? Like, because if there's an alligator out here, this is going to suck. Luckily, no alligators that we saw. But this guy, as we're running, he goes, I just can't. I've got a bad habit. I sleep with a watch that has a light on it and it's got a battery. And I know that's unhealthy. I know it's not good for me. So I think I'm going to switch to this automatic watch, which I don't know if you've seen. These are actually pretty cool. They're watches that when you move, they spin a little magnet in the inside that keeps the watch going. Now, the drawback to it is when you stop wearing it, the watch doesn't work because there's nothing moving it around. But it's really cool. Very expensive watches. The guy was like, well, I could wear that one. I'm going to get that one. Or because the only other watch besides the one I have now, which measures my heart rate variability and does all these other fancy schmancy things, right? Like checks your workouts and all these things, which is, again, is pretty cool. My watch does the same stuff, but it's claiming it's unhealthy. And the only other watch I have is like this Rolex. And the guy was like, oh, you can't wear that all the time. I don't know much about watches. I like my watch. It's pretty cool. I wear it all the time. But as I turn around, because I'm thinking this is an interesting conversation, I look back and the guy was like 50 pounds overweight. Like, it was mind-blowing that he's worried so much about the battery in a watch when he's probably looking up this biohacking stuff while drinking a big gulp. It's like good to do, right? It's good to do, but it's just in the wrong order. So here's some things that I wanted to go over with you so that you don't fall trapped into this thing like the shiny object syndrome, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do 1 meal a day, or I'm going to do keto, or I'm going to do intermittent fasting, or I'm going to switch to all organic, and I'm going to, do my own, I don't know, drink only alkaline water, right? Whatever. Here's some things you need to do first, right? You got to have the tools before you get the specialty parts to the tools, right? Like, without the wood that is for a hammer, it doesn't matter what the hammer head is, however it's made, right? It just doesn't matter. Conversely, it doesn't matter if you have the best axe in the world if it's not sharp because you don't use it, right? So here's the big things you need to do. Step number 1. Are you tracking what you're doing? Are you putting pen to paper? Are you having some sort of measuring system to know where you are at and where you are going? Can you connect the dots? If the answer is no, then you have no sense in worrying about the battery in your watch, or you sleeping in a Faraday cage, or that your blanket has copper underneath it. And if you're thinking this is nuts, like this is what people do, okay? Which I don't know about it. I'm sure it's great, right? But there's copper underneath it. You got a copper wire going out and sticking it in the ground, 3 feet in the ground. So your bed is grounded to the earth so that you're in constant connection with nature or something. Like that stuff doesn't matter if you're not tracking your food. Like, it's cool and it might make you feel good, but it's not doing anything, right? It's like getting you a really nice, it's like getting a really, really nice top of a hammer and you're like, I don't have the stick, right? It's useless. Sure, you can grab it and bash some things with it, but wouldn't it be nice if you had the thing that actually got the thing moving, which is actual stick, okay? So you got to be tracking your stuff, right? If you're not tracking it, you're delusion. You're not living in real. You're living in feel good, which is what these things do, right? Like if I were to be like, oh, you drink this drink, it's going to make you feel so awesome. It'll feel awesome, but you're putting perfume on shit. It's still shit. It's not good, okay? So you got to track your stuff, number 1. Big one, number 1. Number 2, are you hitting the big targets? Are you hitting the things that move the needle? right? Are you doing your workouts every single week? You could track stuff, but are you actually hitting a target? Are you doing the thing that yields you the result? If the answer is no, then do that. Like, do that first. The biohacking stuff can happen later, right? You can worry about the Faraday cage and taking all the batteries out of your stuff and turn the Wi-Fi off at night later. But if you're not doing the stuff that actually moves the needle first, you're just playing around. You're not going anywhere. You're running in circles, doing absolutely nothing, right? You're doing nothing. But you're exhausted. But you're like, but I'm doing so much, but you're not moving anywhere. You're literally not. You're literally not. Okay, so are you tracking stuff? Number one. Number two, are you hitting targets? Do you have targets? That should be number two. Or do you have any targets? Cool, you're tracking. You know what you're putting in your mouth. But how much of said stuff are you putting in your mouth that yields you the result you want? If you don't know, figure it out. If you don't want to hire a coach yet, try something. At least try. Give yourself 3 weeks. Is it moving in that direction? Yes or no? No? Try something else. Trial and error your way through this bad boy, or just come to me and I can do it for you. You don't have to trial and error nothing. I can just tell you what to do, show you how to do it, and get you the result that you want immediately, like very, very, very quickly. That's number 2 and 3. Number 4, this is a big one. Are you actually trying hard? Are you checking boxes? Are you doing the workouts? But are you pushing your hardest, right? There's a massive difference between doing a workout and working out hard, right? Like I could do 10 curls with this, okay? 20-pound band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very simple, okay? Or I can do 10 curls with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See the difference? I did 10 girls of both. But which one am I working harder on? See what I mean? Huge difference. Chasm difference. If you're not doing those 4 things, it makes no sense to do any of the other stuff. It doesn't make sense to do intermittent fasting. It doesn't make sense to do 1 meal a day. It doesn't make sense to do a Faraday cage. It doesn't make sense to doing the biohacking stuff with blue light glasses and all these other things. It doesn't make any sense as far as weight loss is concerned. Nothing. GMO free, doesn't matter. If you're not doing those things first, you're getting nowhere. Promise. It just feels good to be like, I'm doing this really cool new technique that does absolutely nothing. So with that being said, don't get shiny object syndrome. Do the big 4. Promise you'll get better results. I got a jet. Talk to you soon. Bye.